Well, I must say, in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we pray whenever we start programs, while respecting the religions of the others who will also pray silently their prayers. And we also believe that everything we do, it's always important for us to invite the Maker. Well, I thought the Provincial Commissioner was supposed to be here because I wonder why they had to hide him. This is about fighting crime. And at the center of fighting crime is the Provincial Commissioner in the province of KwaZulu-Natal for the good work he is doing for us as the people of KwaZulu-Natal. I thought he would always ensure that he's seated next to me. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think I've acknowledged almost everyone who's present here today. And I know that we all understand that we gather here today to chart a way forward in our ongoing fight against crime in our beloved province of KwaZulu-Natal. I'm actually encouraged to be part of this critical session, where we will not only talk about the crime challenges in our province, but we'll also reinforce our collective commitment to ensuring that every citizen can live, work, and thrive in an environment that is safe, secure, and prosperous. KwaZulu-Natal is naturally a province of hope, rich in potential, history, and culture. We must deliver an environment that will be friendly to the inclusive economic growth, and that will also deliver new job opportunities. It was encouraging, in fact, to realize that investor confidence was regaining the ascending trend as we secured more than 90 billion investment during the investment conference organized by the ROMC Reverend Zondi under the banner of ATIA last year. The important message from the business sector in KwaZulu-Natal is that KwaZulu-Natal must end crime so that investment will flourish. We are currently grappling with the harsh reality of crime that threatens the fabric of our communities. If it were not for the men and women in blue, the situation will be worse, and we really need to play our role as the community to cooperate or work with the police in exposing criminals. I must commend, first and foremost, Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, for his sterling leadership in the police services. And also would like to thank all the management of SAPS for their productive role in different districts. The continued violent crime to economic offenses, gender-based violence, a scourge of criminality that threatens the cornerstone of existence for our families, our businesses, and our peace of mind is the reason we are gathered here today. The sad reality about crime is that it chases away investors and leave our citizens destitute. On Tuesday this week, I think we're all aware that we woke to the news of a cash-in-transit haste which took place on the N2 between the Higginson Highway and Queensberg off-ramps. Unfortunately, one of the women lost her life when the criminals shot at the minibus taxi, which was caught in the ensuing chaos. We'd like to thank the police under the capable leadership of Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, who are making solid leads in cracking the haste case. This is just one example, which shows that the criminals are becoming daring as the day progresses. Other types of crimes plague our beloved province: affection fights, mass murders of people, which occurred in Hlogos, as you all know, Loskop, KwaNongoma, and many other places. Mass murders and faction fights leave communities fragmented and actually affect teaching and learning in the areas where they take place. In an effort to address these crimes, over the past 8 months, I think we have crisscrossed the province, holding the crime summit, communities in Bizo, community dialogues, meetings with families by mass murders, faction fights, and gender-based violence. We have also conducted meetings with various community safety structures. I must thank the sacrifice which is shown by the community safety structures, either the CPF, the CCPA, Neighborhood Watch, private security, whoever is playing the role in collaborating with the police. The work that you are doing is quite very important. And we just had a recent engagement with the safety structures from Loskop and those coming from Inanda, Umlazi, KwaMashu, and Phoenix, which are the attempts to try and create a conversation within our society so that we encourage the society to collaborate with the police, especially on their role of community policing. I think we're aware that we have a problem of a DNA forensic laboratory in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, which in fact makes the GBV cases evidence delayed to reach the courts so that the courts would be able to decide on the cases. I did report that there were talks with the private sector in the name of a Spark Group that offered the financial assistance in equipping the DNA forensic lab, and the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure, led by MEC Mayor, who's present here today. They've offered a site with buildings. Hence, PC, I've spoken to the Minister of Police, Honourable Senzo Mchuna, about this, wherein he requested that two offers should be submitted to his office. I've just submitted them when we met in Cape Town. I think we're only now waiting for national SAPS to concur so that the process begins. Spark Group is ready. They even said the money or the budget that they have, if we do not move fast, we might have a problem of the financial year. Before the end of February, I will be launching an app which gives an early warning to the police and safety structures on the GBV cases, wherein it will be a free app for women to simply just press the button, and then a warning will be given at the earliest possible time, and then they will be able to know and even provide a location of where the victim is actually sending the signal from. We'll be launching that in one of the universities before the end of, in fact, before the State of the Province address. We'll come here, Honourable Deputy Mayor Myeni, to launch. We are going to launch it here in Durban. But I can't wait to see it going beyond tertiary institutions, because we'll be launching with tertiary institutions, but my target is every person in the province of KwaZulu-Natal must be able to access that kind of the app. Throughout these engagements that I've just spoken about, the outcry has been one. People are complaining that crime is suffocating them. And this points to one direction: the urgent need to decisively deal with crime in the province in an effort that inspires new hope to the people of KwaZulu-Natal. The community sentiments have been reflected even by the survey, as will be presented by Dr. Nala. I must apologize, Dr. Nala, that I did not acknowledge you, of the GCIS. The people of KwaZulu-Natal are becoming hopeless, and crime has been identified as one of the things that contribute to despair. When we launched the Council Against Crime on November 2024, we collectively resolved that there was a need for a two-day session for the Council to engage in robust discussions aimed at forging a consensus on how are we actually going to work together in inspiring new hope for the people of KwaZulu-Natal, for the investors who day in and day out find themselves as victims of crime. A small gesture matters. During the festive season, we're not on holidays with the Provincial Commissioner. I don't know whether PC have taken a holiday already, but we're not on holidays. But it really encouraged me when we're having a walkabout in the beaches, together with His Worship, the Mayor of eThekwini, the sentiments, the community members, ordinary community citizens, were actually affording to PC and the leadership of this province, that they were saying, when we see you, we feel safe. And the visibility of the police was all over. We visited some of the malls, some of the taxi ranks, to ensure that people were safe. And the sentiments were quite very positive. I must also thank even the members of the media, because they were part of that journey. As I was saying in the beginning, we are walking this journey together, of which that is wonderful for the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Sadly, the crime ringleaders, which is unfortunate, is that are people as young as 22 and 9 years old, as was witnessed in Newcastle and recently in Inanda, where the 22-year-old gang leader was killed during the crossfire with police. This necessitates that we point our eyes, or we direct our eyes to the youth group, especially the youth out of school. This council represents our unwavering determination to confront these challenges head on. It is through collaboration across government, law enforcement, civil society, and all sectors of our community that we will forge meaningful solutions. Our task today is not just to review where we stand, but to plan boldly for a future that is safer and more secure for every KwaZulu-Natal resident. We know that crime does not happen in a vacuum. It is driven by complex social, economic, and political factors. As we discuss strategic measures to fight crime, let us remember that our approach must be holistic We must address the root causes at a long term, which is poverty, unemployment, and lack of education and inequality. That contributes to the cycle of violence and crime. When I met the low-scope safety structures, they in fact reflected to us one of the factors which they think is dominant to the kind of violent crime in their area, that girls do not complete school. They get married while they're at an age of being at school. And ask me, who do they marry? They marry other boys who should be at school. As a result, to support the family, it compels them to be involved in crime so that they make quick cash. There are some of the factors. National government has adopted a 6-pillar strategy, herein referred to as Integrated Crime and Violence Prevention Strategy, which serves as a guiding framework and calls for both government and society to come together and find ways of dealing with crime. The strategy advocates for an integrated and developmental approach with evidence-based planning and implementation. To be impactful, interventions need to target both the risk factors and protective factors related to violence and crime, tailored to the specific context and addressing the needs of vulnerable and at-risk groups. Additionally to the strategy are the provincial priorities, which is driving inclusive growth and job creation, reducing poverty and a high cost of living, and building a capable, ethical, and developmental state. These priorities serve as a foundation for the national program of action and guide the provincial agenda. Nationally and provincially, the key strategic objectives of the JCPS cluster, which is building a capable and ethical state whose envisaged outcomes are restoring trust in the public sector, corruption-free society, restoring investor confidence, and increasing the feelings of safety. While this may be viewed as a responsibility of government, I believe we as members of the Council share the common understanding that government alone cannot achieve this. Hence, you voluntarily accepted nomination to the Council, and you are today here to spend the whole weekend assisting in finding means and ways of making these objectives a reality. Our planning today must be about turning a new actual leaf and instill new hope to the families affected by mass murderers, faction fights, GBV and femicide, as well as ordinary crime and haste. Our women and men in blue continue to do commendable work with the province. Hence, we will focus on strengthening our law enforcement agencies, enhancing the capacity of local safety structures, increasing community engagement, and ensuring that our youth are empowered to be agents of change rather than victims or perpetrators of crime. As we move forward, we must also remain firm in our resolve to build trust between the police and the communities they serve. It is only through mutual respect, dialogue, and accountability that we will restore faith in our justice system and break the cycle of a crime. I urge each one of us present here today to bring ideas, expertise, and a dedication to today's discussions. Let us keep in mind the reality that the real lives that are affected by crimes are the families who have lost loved ones, the businesses that have suffered, and the children growing under an unsafe environment. Every action we take must be with the goal of inspiring new hope, protecting the innocent, restoring justice, and rebuilding trust that is vital for peace in our communities. Council members, I wish to call on all members present here today to ensure that after these 2 days, we come up with a clear and concise response plan to the strategy, as well traceable outcomes, show clear commitments, and measurable results. Because I want to reiterate my unwavering confidence in the work of this council. Together we can create a KwaZulu-Natal where crime no longer defines us, but where safety, unity, and prosperity are the cornerstone of our society. Let this session mark the beginning of a renewed and even more effective partnership in our fight against crime. We are committed, I am committed, Provincial Commissioner is committed, safety structures are committed, but we need, in fact, to come up with strategies that will be really effective in ensuring that we end crime in our province. I know that is possible. I know that some people will say that's daydreaming, but I believe that the attitude determines the altitude. If our attitude is that we are going to conquer crime in the province, we will do so. With those words, which really I was quite not comfortable with this presentation, I thought I will simply just speak from my mind and say what I think is a direction that we need to take here today. You see, this platform is as a result of a request when we had the previous Council Against Crime session, that you said you want this platform. Let us then use this platform in a manner that will all find a common ground on how we are going to actually work together to save our people, to save our province. Once more, I must say, Provincial Commissioner, as the people of KwaZulu-Natal, as the government of KwaZulu-Natal, we recognize your leadership in the police services. I'm quite aware of the attacks which are there, but to us, they will never wipe off in fact what we have actually done for this province. Continue working. We are behind the men and women in blue as the government of KwaZulu-Natal. We want to work with you. We want to work with all our safety structures in ensuring that one day KwaZulu-Natal becomes a safer province. With those few words, because it was not a speech, I wish to welcome everyone present and therefore pass the baton pass the baton to the facilitator. And I'm appealing to HOD that please pardon me, I'm not comfortable to continue sitting here. I wish to go and join either the MECs or join the other side so that at least this area will be a space of the facilitator, and even that one will be a space of the facilitator. I'm not quite sure about the members of the media because I thought they will only cover this session. Then when we continue discussing, they will allow us to continue having discussions.